The next P or last P of marketing mix, that is place. Place is also known as distribution, and the mode through which the distribution is done, that is known as the channels of distribution. Basically, this place or the last P of the marketing mix works with the distribution of the goods and services with the company. When the products are being made, it has to be decided with the price, and that price or the product must be communicated through promotion, and the place is the source or, through which the consumers are going to get the exact product or services in their hands, or the delivery has been happened. Actually, the channels of distribution are mainly concerned with the physical distribution of goods and services. They also help in promotion and selling of the marketing goods, selling of the goods and services also, and they control even the feedback system of this of for any of the organization. So let's start with place. The objectives of distribution or place is to make products available in the right place at the right time in the right quantity. That is, the motive behind the distribution or selecting or a particular channel of distribution is just to provide a particular product or at the right time on the right place at the right quantities to each and every person who are in desire of those particular goods, whether for the reselling or for the consumption purpose. Distribution channel. A channel of distribution moves a product from production to consumption. As I told you, a motive behind choosing a channel of distribution is just to provide a particular product to take a particular product from the production unit and deliver it to the consumption or to the consumers to consume it. It can be defined as the activities and processes required to move a product from the producer to the consumers. Again, the same, the particular channel of distribution is been focusing on the activities and the processes behind to move a particular product from a particular manufacturer or a producer till the consumer is being going to be handed with that particular product. It also includes the intermediaries that are involved in this movement in any capacity. These intermediaries are third party companies. Who are the intermediaries? Intermediaries are the people those are been existing in between product producer to the consumers. All those people those are been making a channel between these two people are being known as the intermediaries, and they can be wholesalers, they can be transporters, they can be retailers, they can be agents, they can be distributors, they can be any of the person those who are been with connecting the producer and the consumer. Again, these particular wholesalers, retailers, or distributors are going to provide the facilities like warehousing, then transportation and logistics, and so many particular facilities, which we are going to cover in further slides. According to American Marketing Association, a marketing channel or a distribution channel is a structure of intra-company organization units and intra-company agents and dealers, wholesalers, and retailers through which a commodity product or services is marketed. That is, a marketing American Marketing Association has given a definition that it is only a structure which is the whatever the intra-company organizations are being having, and whatever the intra-company agents and dealers. For example, a particular company's own warehouses and own logistic management, own transportation, own agents, sellers, resellers, or the peoples are there simultaneously. Those are at the market area, wholesalers and retailers. They both come together to move a particular commodity or product or services from to into the market and hand it over till the consumers are going to have that. With certain levels and channels of distribution. There are basically four levels and channels of distribution, starting with the zero level and ends with the three levels, which is being used by any of the organization. If you can see over here, there is a particular direct channel here and there is an indirect channel. What is direct channel? Direct channel or a zero level channel where the manufacturers are directly linked towards the consumers. If you can see over here, that is manufacturers are directly, no intermediaries are available in between them, so that it is a direct channel of distribution, where it is also known as zero level because there is no intermediaries involved. So that the next one is the indirect channel. If you can see over here, there are three types of channels. Basically, those are indirect in nature. Why we are calling it indirect? The reason behind that is the manufacturers and consumer are not directly related towards each other. Some of the intermediaries like retailers or wholesalers or agents, some of the intermediaries are in between, they are linking towards them. So starting with the second level, that is one level type of one level. Why we are calling it one level? Because the retailer is the only person who has been existing in between and who is connecting the manufacturer to the consumer, so that it is a one level. Similarly, we can see in the next one, that is the two level. One is the wholesaler and other one is the retailer. This is a general type of communication, a general type of channel of distribution which has been used by maximum number of companies. And the third type of or the fourth type of level of channel of distribution that have been there, that is with the uh, agents, distributors, wholesalers and retailers. So we can see over here there are three peoples existing in between manufacturers and consumer. Those are been connecting them, so that there this is the three level type of. So we will be having zero level, one level, two level and three level types of channels of distribution, where the zero level is a direct channels of distribution, and indirect will be having a three types of one level, two level and three level. Types of intermediaries. There are basically these are not the exact types of, there can be, these are the majorly used type of channels of distribution, that is retailers, wholesalers, distributors or agents. The retailers are the people, those are been in a directly contact with the consumers. Wholesalers are going to help retailers to deliver the goods, and distributors and agents can be provided by the manufacturers or can be exist in between these particular type of intermediaries. Who are the retailers? Retailers actually are the people who are in a direct contact with the consumers. They are the most important intermediaries because they are going to have the direct face-to-face communication with the consumers. So that these retailers are the last or the final chain or final step of this particular type of channel of distribution. Retailer is the final step in the chain, deals directly with the customers. It focused on consumer markets. Why it has been focused on consumer markets? Because it is totally depending, whatever retailers are going to represent the company, it will be totally depending up to the consumer market. Whatever consumers are been going to desire, whatever consumers are been going to ask for the product, whichever the features are being liked by the consumers, that is only retailers have to keep, and they are only focusing on those type of items. Now, as we have already learned that the particular right now, whatever marketing uh, analysis, whatever marketing process has been done, that will be totally depending up to the consumer, because it is now the market is for the consumer, and whatever the consumers are being going to ask for the needs and wants, that is only going to be made by the manufacturers, and that is only going to be sold in the market. So that retailers are the people, those are been going to exactly desiring the demands of the consumers, and they are being going to communicate to the people, to the manufacturers, and they finally manufacturers are going to get with that particular product. Now the retailers services can be with the consumers and can be with the producers also. What are the services retailers are going to provide for the consumers? A consumer for a consumers, the retailers are going to provide them anticipating their wants. They are going to fulfill their wants, whatever wants and desires will be there with the consumers. Retailers are the people, those are being going to provide that particular wants or desires to the consumer. Second is they are going to breaking the bulk, that is breaking the bulk whenever the products are being made by the producers, it will be always on a large quantity, and these small retailers are going to divide or the break that particular bulk into very small pieces on the basis of their particular area, on the basis of their particular area and location needs and desires. Next, third one is transport and warehousing. These retailers are going to provide facilities of transportation or the home delivery to the consumers, as well as the warehousing of those particular products for the producers in their retailing units for the consumers. Next is financing. They are going to provide a particular financing type of, like to keep the goods, to take care of the goods, to make it display on the particular retailing stores, so that they are going to provide certain type of facilities for the consumers. Next is product guarantees. Again, they are going to provide product guarantees in on behalf of the producers in their stores. And the last, that is repairs and installation, because consumers are in directly contact with the retailers, and whatever problems consumers are going to face, that will be rectified by retailers only. so that these retailers are going to provide repair and maintenance services or installation services to the consumer of their particular area. Similarly, these retailers are going to provide services to the producers also. So these particular services are being provided, or the particular retailers are going to provide these services. That is the first one, that is expert seller. Expert seller, that is, retailers are the expert seller, because for the producers they are only going to produce the product. Retailers are going to sell the particular products of the producers to the market, to the consumer, so that they are the expert sellers for the producers in the market. Similarly, advertiser of goods, they are also the advertiser of goods for the producer. The reason behind that is because they are again directly going to feedback, directly going to oppose the particular the consumers. They are going to rectify the queries of the consumers and so on. They are going to communicate about the features of the product to the consumers directly, so that they are the advertiser of the goods also. Similarly, they are breaking the bulk, as we have already done with this. That is, for the consumer they are breaking the bulk, for the producer even they are breaking the bulk, because when they are been producing in a very large quantity, the retailers are the people those are been storing in their units with the breaking of the bulk. Next is financing. These retailers are going to provide a financing services, like again display management. They are going to handle the goods. They are going to keep safety of the goods. They are going to secure the goods as per their needs. For example, if there are ice creams, they will have to be stored on that type of facility which the ice cream is been going to be needed, the refrigerators and so on. So that all these finances are being done by the retailers for the producers. Similarly, the storage, again as I have told you, on the basis of the requirement of the goods, inventory management has been done by the retailers. And similarly, the last one, that is feedback. Feedback is the whatever consumers are going to provide the feedback of the for the goods, or for the buying of the goods, and for not buying of the goods. The retailers are providing this type of feedback to the producers, and they are also going to provide this type of services to the users. Wholesalers. The wholesalers are the people, those are again breaking the bulk, because again when the 1,000 tons of goods are being produced by the producer, it will be divided into 50 tons or 100 tons to the various wholesalers, and those wholesalers are again breaking that particular bulk, and they are going to distribute it. So that wholesalers are also there for breaking the bulk. The bulk purchases from manufacturers, as I've told you, they are the bulk purchases from the manufacturers, and those bulk purchases are been again going to break with the into smaller parts for the retailers. Next, break into smaller quantities to resale to the retailers. Next comes typical wholesaler services. The wholesaler are going to provide the particular services like maintenance of sales force. Again, the sales force, those are being directly going to ask for the retailers, or those are going to encourage the retailers. That will be done by the wholesalers. Wholesalers are going to maintain the sales force of the organization as well as of the market. Next is the storage. Again, these wholesalers are going to provide warehousing facilities in that particular area, because a wholesaler exists if in a particular city there can be one wholesaler. So that wholesaler has to store a number of items on the basis of the whole of the retailer those are existing in that particular area, so that they are been going to provide a storage type of facilities for a number of retailers in their one unit. Next is delivery to retailers. Again, wholesalers are being responsible for delivery of the goods to retailers. There are number of retailers, there are number of people those are been existing in the market, those are been retailing, so that there is a responsibility of a wholesaler to deliver those particular goods to the retailers. Next is financial help to both manufacturers and the retailer, because they are been in a connecting between manufacturer and a particular retailer, so that they are the people those are going to provide financial help to the manufacturers as well as to the retailers. The goods, when the manufacturers are going to send to the wholesaler is going to keep at a bulk, and again that will be distributed to number of retailers in that particular area, so that whatever finance has been required to distribute these particular goods into various number of retailers, the wholesaler is going to done. Next is merchandising. Merchandising, again, merchandising means the assortment of the goods, the types of goods, the number of goods, the variety of goods, that is the merchandising. Again, wholesaler has been going to keep number of goods into their place and they are going to distribute on the basis of the process of merchandising is being done by wholesalers. Next one is the sales promotional work. Sales promotional work, that is to create number of retailers into the market, to promote the particular product into the market and to promote the sales of the company into the market, that will be done by the wholesaler again. Next is product services. Again, the services required by the retailers for installation, providing to the consumers. Again, the maintenance services, the repair services, wholesalers are going to provide to that, to the retailers, and retailers are the people those are being going to provide it to the consumers, so that the product services or product associated services are being provided by wholesalers to the retailers. Similarly, next, marketing information. Wholesalers are going to provide information of the market from the retailers to manufacturers. As the retailers are not directly in a directly contact with the manufacturers, so wholesalers are the people those are going to collect the information from the retailers and they are going to provide it to the manufacturers. Next is the risk bearing. The risk bearing is once they store the number of items or the goods, it is a risk to create that particular, to communicate that particular goods to the retailers, and to make the to encourage these retailers to sell that particular product, so that these people are going to bear the risk of keeping those particular items and again to circulate it into the market. Third one is the distributors or agents. So distributors or agents are not same. It will be totally depending up to the type of goods for which we are using these terminologies. Distributors are the people, basically those are only responsible to distribute the goods. They are not responsible for selling of the goods. But agents are the people those are been responsible for selling of the goods also. Okay. So these people can be either a single chain in between producer and consumer, or they can be a particular people those are been existing after or before particular wholesalers and retailers. So the agents and distributors are the people those are been existing somehow in between these particular intermediaries. Now, distributors distribute the products and services as a local sales of point. Uh, Second one is usually specialized in a particular industry. For example, the distributors are only responsible for a type of goods to distribute in whole of this particular market. A distributor can keep a number of product of different companies in their one roof and distribute according to their need and according to the demand of the brands in the market. For example, building supplies, electrical components, industrial clothing, etc. That is, a distributor can be of a building supplies. Those who are going to have a number of brands in one roof. Similarly, the electric components, the switches, the wires, they can have with the number of brands in their one roof, number of companies in their one roof, as they are the distributors, and they can distribute a number of brands on the basis of their demand by the wholesalers or retailers. Next is offer products from many producers equal to greater choice. That is, if they will keep a number of producers products in their one roof, so that they can encourage the number of wholesalers to buy from them or to take particular goods from them, because wholesalers also doesn't want to move from number of distributors. They want ki one particular roof so they can get a number of items together, so that as they will offer a number of products in one roof, so that there will be greater choice for the wholesalers to buy from them. Next one is different from agents, in that a distributor holds stock. Different from agents, why it has been there? Distributors, as I have told you, distributors जो है वो आपके स्टॉक रखने में ज़्यादा मोटिव काम करते हैं, बट एजेंट्स जो है वो आपके सेलिंग में भी काम करते हैं. दे keep also goods and they will sell also goods, so that they are different from the agents, because again the motive of agents is not to only keep the goods, that is to sell the goods also. Agents can be in industries like travel, insurance, and publishing. If you can see with the example, travel industry, that is with the travel and tourism work, those agencies are been doing. They are not only storing the items, they are not only keeping the different commodities or different companies profile. They are just going to encourage people to buy from them and to earn commission based on sale. That is, as I've told you, distributors are there responsible for only to stocking the goods, but agents are also responsible for selling of the goods for the to earn the commissions. Functions of a distribution channel. First one is provide a link between production and consumption. Again, the one of the major function is just to provide a link between production and the consumption, or the producer and the consumers. Next is to gather market information. Again, just to collect the information from the market, what consumer desires, what consumer wants, what are the needs of the consumer at this particular time, what are the other competitors or brands are working in the market, whatever the other features they are been providing, and just providing this information to the company. Next is communicate promotional offers. To communicate, again, just communication also is the one of the functions behind the channels of distribution, to the advertise the product, to promote the product, to communicate the offers or the discounts or coupons regarding the particular product to the consumers and to the other particular market people. Next is find and communicate with prospective buyers. Again, not only to communicate, just to communicate it to the prospective buyers. Who are the prospective buyers? Those are the prospects, those are the future customers. Just to attract the people, attract the customers, it is again a motive behind these channels of distribution. Next is physical distribution, transporting and storing. That is again these channels of distribution, whether the wholesaler is there, whether the distributor is there, whether the channels, any of the channel of distribution intermediaries are there. The motive of their functioning can be transporting the goods from one place to another, as well as the storing or the warehousing of those particular goods into their warehouses. Next is financing. Again, other parties finance the stock. Again, those particular stock which the manufacturers are been delivering to these people or these intermediaries, that these people are going to store it. They are going to take care of it. They are going to manage the goods as per their needs and their particular requirements, and they are going to provide the financing facilities of all these activities for the manufacturers. Next one is the risk taking. Again, other parties take some risk. These parties take some risk regarding keeping of the goods, storing of the goods, providing facilities to the goods. Then all those the expiry dates they have to maintain with the expiry dates also, and all those things the particular these parties are going to have. So these are the functions behind channels of distribution. Come to the next, that is channel's strategic decision. A channel's strategic decisions can be, first, that is channel length, direct or indirect. First, the first strategy particular channel has to, or the company has to make, that is whether the particular company is going to keep the direct channel or indirect channel. If they are going to keep with the direct channel, that means manufacturer directly जो है वो consumer से connected होंगे, and if they are going to have with the indirect channel, so there can be n number of intermediaries or a single intermediaries, those who are connecting these people. This will be totally depending up to the company. It is not necessary that a company will be having either direct or indirect. A company can have both direct or indirect also, which we are following right now. Many of the companies, those are been dealing with the through the intermediaries also, they are directly even selling in the goods in the market, so that it will can be direct or indirect. Second one is choice of intermediaries. Again, who will be the intermediary? Whether only the retailer will be there, whether the distributor is only will be there. For example, if we will say about Amazon, Amazon is a e-retailer. They are the e-retailer. So those companies, those are been dealing with Amazon to the to the consumers, through the consumers. So that will be with the choice of intermediaries, that they are been choosing only e-retailers, not with the offline retailers or not with the wholesalers in the market, and they are being direct and direct contacting through the e-retailers only. So it will be totally up to the choice of the company, like which type of intermediaries they are going to keep. Next one is you use just one or several channels. As I've told you, a company can have a number of channels. A company can have all the three levels of channel. They can have a zero level, they can have one level, they can be having two, or they can have three level, or they can have all these four together. It will be totally depending up to company that whether they are going to have with the only one, or they will be going to have with the several type of channels of distribution. Next is how to move the goods through the channel. How to move, that is the delivery, the how the delivery will be going to happen, how the transportation is going to be happen, how what type of warehousing facilities the company is going to provide, and what type of warehousing facilities the wholesalers or retailers are going to provide. So how the the particular movement of the goods will be there in the market, that will be again a particular strategy a company have to make. Simultaneously they have to think about the timing of those delivery, timing of the movement, that again the if the goods are perishable in nature, those goods, those are non durable in nature, again these goods require the delivery at very fast or very within a week or within fortnightly, so that the company has to make a particular channel on the basis of the requirements of the goods. Next is control over the channel. Example, who decide price, promotion and packaging. Control over the channel will be the deciding of the commissions, deciding with the facilities providing by the company to these intermediaries or by the intermediaries to these companies. So the particular channel control must be there with the company, and they have to decide with the pricing, they have to decide with the promotion, they have to decide with the commission, the packages, and the particularly discounts provided to these channels. All those things will be having a particular decision in this particular channels of distribution type of strategy. Channel dynamics. Now, as we have learned till time that there are certain intermediaries, those are been connecting manufacturers to the consumers, but these particular intermediaries can be of a different types. What are the different types or different dynamics under these particular channels? That is, a channel can be conventional, a channel can be vertical, a channel can be horizontal, and can be multi-channel. Starting with the first, that is conventional channel. A conventional channel means, or a conventional marketing system means, an independent producer, wholesalers and retailers. Like a manufacturers will be a particular company, a wholesaler will be somebody else, and a retailer will be somebody else. मतलब हर किसी की अपनी इंडिपेंडेंसी होगी, हर कोई अपने पर्टिकुलरली पैरामीटर्स पे वर्क कर रहा होगा, हर किसी का किसी से कनेक्शन नहीं है, जस्ट दे आर लिंक्ड टू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट अ गुड्स टू द consumers. They are just working, they are working independently. If you will go with the vertical marketing system, here wholesaler, producers, wholesalers and retailers acting as a unified system, where there is a franchisee, where there is an outlet, where there is a particular company outlets, those are being unified in nature, means wholesaler, only manufacturer, wholesaler and retailer are of a same company, and they are working with a individual identity. If we can see with the Bata, if we can see with the Reliance, Pantaloons, all these are the company outlets. Those are being unifiedly, collectively, they are been working with a vertical marketing system. We can see with the example of McDonald's, KFC's, Domino's, all these are been working with the whatever manufacturers are going to provide to the wholesaler, and wholesaler is going to, they are unifiedly working together in the vertical type of system, marketing system. Next one is the horizontal. Again, you under horizontal, two or more unrelated companies put their resources together to exploit emerging market opportunities. Now, this type of system will be like two or three different manufacturing companies are working together with single wholesaler, and this wholesaler is going to deal with the retailer. This is a this is a horizontal type of marketing system, where there are two or more. For example, ICICI with Big Bazaar. If you are going to use a ICICI debit card or credit card in Big Bazaar, you are going to get extra commission. That means these particular companies are being there, those are been working for a single purpose, to motivate the consumers, to earn the provide a facility to the consumers, and they are going to be unrelated companies which are been putting their sources for the emerging marketing opportunities. Last one is the multi-channel marketing system. Multi-channel, that is, as the terminology it has been there, multi-channel. when a single firm uses two or more marketing channels to reach one or more customer segments. For example, there can be number of, that is, number of manufacturing units, or sorry, single particular manufacturing unit is going to have a direct contact with the retailers, it is going to have with the wholesalers and to the retailers, it is directly going to sell with the consumers also, and it is going to have with the distributors also to the consumers. So that when the company is using more and more type of channels of distribution, that will be with the multi-channel type of distribution. Now, after this, the next particular topic is logistics decision. What is logistics actually? The logistics are the people, those are responsible for taking a particular goods from a producer or from a source to the user, or a consumer, or to the people, those who are going to keep those goods. That is, logistics means the art of managing the flow of raw materials and finished goods from the source to the user. Now you will say, who is a wholesaler under this? Who is a retailer? Then if logistics are going to do this, logistics are only a connection between these two people, whether the manufacturers or the wholesalers, or wholesalers are the retailers, or the retailers and the consumer. For example, what courier companies are doing. What courier companies are doing? You order a particular item through online, and they just take those particular items from companies, and they are going to deliver it and hand over to you on your homes for those particular utilization of the item. So the courier companies are being responsible for what? Take the goods, pack it, transport it, and deliver it to the consumer. The same working has been there with the logistics. The logistics are been responsible for taking the goods from the producer, keeping those goods, packing those goods, transporting those particular goods, and just take those particular goods to the other channel of distribution or the intermediaries. Those are going to further transport it for the next step. So that same things will be available with the wholesalers and retailer in between also, and same thing is been available with the retailers and consumers also. Now, marketing logistics involves planning, implementing, and controlling the physical flow of goods, services, and related information from points of origin to point of consumption to meet consumer requirements at a profit. Look over this particular diagram. This diagram has been showing that there is a particular connection between of logistics here as well as here and even here also. That means the logistics work is to just connect or take a particular item raw materials from supplier to manufacturers. Manufacturer will make a particular finished goods that will be again taken from here and delivered to the wholesalers, and this particular wholesalers again going to keep those goods and resell it to the retailers, and these retailers are again going to take these goods and deliver it to the consumers. So that the logistics or logistic management is been going to be do work like to take the goods, pack it, transport it, and deliver it to the people. And again the same thing, here the raw materials are being delivered, here the finished goods are being delivered, and again the finished goods are being delivered to the retailers, and these retailers are finally going to hand over to the consumers. The maximum number of logistics will be utilized from this and there, and here it will be totally depending up to the people, like what type of or what percentage of logistic management these people are going to go with. Now, come to the next, that is inbound logistics and outbound logistics. There are two terminologies. What is inbound logistics? Inbound logistics are the logistic management which has been going to make those goods available into a unit. मतलब अगर मैन्युफैक्चरर्स के पास लॉजिस्टिक मैनेजमेंट कंपनीज या लॉजिस्टिक्स गुड्स लेकर आ रहे हैं तो आप उनको इनबाउंड बोलेंगे बिकॉज इट इज इनकमिंग. दोज आर बीन आउटगोइंग, दैट विल बी आउटबाउंड. मतलब मैन्युफैक्चर से अगर गुड्स बाहर जा रहे होंगे तो वो आपके आउटबाउंड लॉजिस्टिक्स होते हैं. सिमिलरली फॉर होलसेलर, दिस इज इनबाउंड एंड दिस इज आउटबाउंड. Similarly, for retailers, this is inbound and this is outbound. And for consumer, this is inbound. So as a particular type of logistic we are going to use, as it will be inbound and it will be the outbound. The particular people, those who are dealing with the logistic, that will be going to matter for creating the definition of inbound and outbound. Another terminology is there, that is reverse. What is reverse? Whenever there is any defect or exchange or the return of the goods from consumer to the retailers, these goods are being taken back by, not by the normal logistics, it is taken back by the reverse logistics. So whoever has been going to take these return goods to the retailers, and after that these retailers are going to send these goods to the wholesalers. These wholesalers are going to revert this particular goods to the manufacturers. All these things are being known as done by the reverse logistics. The transportation, the warehousing of these type of returning of the goods will be done by the reverse logistics, though the incoming of the main goods or the final goods will be done by these particular inbound or outbound type of logistics. Next, major elements in logistics decision. There are basically three works mainly done in this logistics decision, that is inventory management, warehousing systems and transportation. What is inventory management? It is to managing the inventories, the stock. Second is warehousing, that is again a part of inventory management but a major part of inventory management, that is warehousing system. And next one, that is transportation, that is to taking a goods from one place to another. Starting with the inventory management system. What to be delivered? That is what to be delivered, how to be delivered, and when to be delivered. These particular things will be related to the inventory management. What to be delivered? That is the goods when they are being going to be handled over they according to the orders generated by the people, that will be completely done by the inventory management system. It refers to the process of ordering, storing and using a company's inventory. That is whatever inventories are the stock, inventories are the products which the people are going to keep there, and they are on the basis of their orders, and they are going to store it and they are going to use it on the basis of their particularly requirement of those particular items. Similarly, the next is inventory include raw materials, components and finished products. Inventories can be again as per the previous diagram what we have seen, that is a supplier, if they are been going to deliver goods to the manufacturers, that is also done by the logistic management. So inventory management done for this type of raw materials will be also known as inventory. Similarly, the components, the parts, the semi-finished goods, all those are also, and even the finished goods what the manufacturers are been going to deliver it to the wholesalers, and wholesalers are going to deliver further it. So that means all the things those are been in between them, the products, they will be the inventory. It makes sure that the core processes of a business keep running efficiently by optimizing the availability of inventory. Just these inventory management system main motive is just to deliver the goods on the basis of their timing, on the basis of their particular place and on the basis of their requirements. Come to the next, that is warehousing management system. Warehousing, where should a resource be stored? Where to be stored, that is again a big deal with the logistic decision, because as the number, if the goods are smaller in nature, it will be, it's okay, the warehouses needed for those type of items will be not too much. But if the goods are very big like cars, or maybe with the refrigerators, or maybe with the big machines and all those, so there is a requirement of big warehouses, or particular management the systems are being required, where the warehouses involves more than storage. It just only not store the goods, it will store on the basis of the requirements of the goods, on the basis of the availability of the goods, on the basis of the climate, on the basis of the resources available into the warehouses and so on. Warehouses perform many usual functions like breaking the bulk, dispatch of smaller consignment to retailers, holding the stock of retailers, regulating the goods flow of retailers, providing market intelligence, and many other merchandising services of manufacturers. Like these all works are being done by the warehouses, because these warehouses or the logistic decisions are being going to have help these other people though with the according to their needs, according to their particular criteria, the number of items required by them, how much they can hold, how much these particular warehouses have to deliver at a time duration, the requirements, everything matters when the warehouses are being maintained. So warehouses are not only responsible just to store the goods, they are also responsible for the dispatch of the items on the basis of the requirement of the retailers, and just again to holding the stock for them, again to regulate the goods and services on the basis of the demand of the market, on the basis of market intelligence of, and on the basis of other merchandising services provided by the manufacturers to the retailers. Next comes that is transportation. What is transportation? The transportation is how inventory to be moved. Now only to keep the inventory and to move it on the time basis, that is more important again. The thing is how the inventories or the particular items must be delivered from one place to another on the basis of again requirement of the goods, on the basis of the type of goods, on the basis of the facility needed by the goods, the particular things will be provided on the basis of the transportation. If you can see in the main roads or the highways that there are big trailers available for the delivery of the cars or such type of machines or items. The reason behind that is as the requirement of the item will be there, as the transportations will be there provided to those type of items, so that the transportation is going to have the question like how inventories to be moved from one place to another. It is the crux of the problems of physical distribution, because again the weight of the products matters, the size of the product matters, the delicateness of the product matters, so that there is a big problem for any of the marketer for to distribute a particular goods into one place to another. Even the geographical area matters, even the climate matters, even the intimacy of that particular area matters. That will be there with the problem of the physical distribution. Next is physical distribution system is network of activities consisting primarily storage at multiple points interconnected by a series of transport links in the machinery of distribution. That is, a physical distribution system is a network of activities. It is a network of activities because it is only a sense of delivering a particular item into various interconnected places, various multiple points available into the market, various places into which the transportation must be going to be provided to each and every retailer at a time when they are being going to be needed. We have five means of transport out of which the particular transportation can be done. The first one is a road, the other one is a railway. We can deliver goods through railway, or the manufacturers can deliver the goods through railway also. Again, the water, that is with the ships, the utilization of the ships can be there. Airplanes, that is with the airplanes or the by aeroplanes we can deliver, producers can deliver goods. Similarly, the pipelines, where there is a supply of any of the liquid items, any of the gases, something like that, the pipelines are also responsible for the transportation purpose. It is governed by speed, frequency, dependability, availability, safety, operational flexibility, etc. That is, these all these particular parameters are going to decide which type of transportations are being needed and which type of particular uh, the products are to be delivered by which type of facility. So these on the basis of the speed, the frequency, that is the when the particular goods are being needed, the dependability, that which type of item has been dependent on which type of resources, availability, again that will be with the producers whether the goods are being available by the producers or not, or they have done with the productions or not, the safety of the items, similarly the flexibility of the items are being there. Thank you. If any query you may ask.